Hello? Hello? Is this one working? Can you hear me now? Any of them? Desktop mic audio. Let me try that one. Okay, can you hear me now? You can hear me. Brilliant. Yes, I found the button, guys. I worked it out. I didn't need Drew. Cool. I don't know if we're going to get an echo because I don't quite know what I did, but yay! I found the button. I found the right bit on the flipping stupid software. Cool. Right. Okay. Well, we've got some sound, which is fabulous. I was saying, happy Tuesday. Excuse the scruff bags because I am working from home today and I am knackered. Brilliant. You can. Everyone can get me now. Brilliant. Next one will be sign language. Yeah, I learned a new one today because Cara teaches Jonah sign language. So this is rain. That's rain. I like that one. So what was I going to say? What was I saying? I can't even remember now. We had little man overnight. Cara and Jonah stayed here last night because he has got bronchiolitis and he is a very poorly little bunny. He is not happy at all and Cara was exhausted. So I was a little bit tired because I did the night shift for her. So yeah, it was a hell of a long night. Hell of a long night. He slept for about 30 minutes, then be awake for an hour, and then about 30 minutes and awake for an hour right the way through the night. So it's a good job I'm an insomniac. But I'm desperately trying to get ready. Better turn my volume down now. So hello everybody, let's have a little look. So who's here? So hi Carolyn, hi Karen. Oh hello, goodbye Karen, hi. Hi Jean. I am becoming a bit of a techie, aren't I? I'm getting there. Who else is there? Hi Cheryl. Yeah, we should do some sign language. I should learn some quilting sign language, shouldn't I? That'd be good for shows and all and stuff as well. Hi Marilyn. Yeah. That Sister Bay is beautiful, isn't it? I'm glad you're out in Spain, Nikki. I hope you're having a lovely, lovely time, darling. Cool. Right. I'm glad everything's now coming through. So, very quick update. I haven't had chance because I've been sewing like crazy all morning. Josh has got little man today, so he's been pooling around, but he is a bit better today actually. He's taking him out for a walk now, just to get some fresh air in his little lungs. Trying to do a nebulizer thing on a baby, not easy, is it? Not on a 14-month-old who's like super strong Hulk strength. Just get it off me, trying to hold him down to get antibiotics in him. Oh yeah, it's been a fun 24 hours. Charlotte can teach you sign language. Oh yes, please, hun. I would love that, Charlotte. I'd love to learn like. So one of my very good friends, Jane, is deaf and she does sign language. But I can do like please, thank you, man. Yes, man, boy, things like that, and different bits and pieces. Girl, isn't it? But biscuit, that was always my favourite one. I think that's a Makaton one, but it was biscuit because I did do Makaton when I was younger. Which is like the child's one, but some sewing sign language would be really useful for shows and all because we very often have ladies that are deaf come and visit us at the shows and just being able to help them a bit more would be nice. So Charlotte, I might be picking your brains, darling. What was I saying? So we're going to do a little block. Now we're like 6 minutes in and I haven't even started. We're not going to do a block. We're going to make some quiet blocks, and this is like the prototype one. This is one that I just cut out to check sizing and stuff. And the whole idea was, it started as a kiddie thing, like a quiet book with activities and stuff, but rather than a book, to do a block. But I then thought they'd be really good for like twiddle, like twiddle muffs or twiddle blankets for people with dementia. These would be really good for that as well. So this one hasn't got much decoration on it because I was just basically working out the sizes and stuff. And I might go back and sew loads of stuff into this. But I thought we'd go through how to make one because it's just a cube basically with lots of stuff on it. So let's go over to the overhead over here, and I've got 6 pieces of fabric. So I've cut out 6.5-inch squares, which made this size block. okay, which is quite a big one. But I also thought it's almost like a ball as well. They, little ones can throw them and play, play catch and stuff too. So I've cut out 6 random scrappy bits. I think the scrappier the better, frankly. So I'm in the right place because everything got a bit moved and all over the place. So I've cut out 6 squares of fabric. It's 6.5 inches. Do I spy a new quilt pattern behind you, Sarah? That's this one here was Sarah Jane's Convergence quilt from last week. This one. That's the Convergence quilt she was doing. So she's just still up there. She didn't take it with her because we were in a rush. Where were we going? Was it Thursday? We went for afternoon tea, didn't we? So it's still there. So how you decorate each one, really, I thought we'd talk through some ideas about how to decorate them and what you can put on them and stuff. So this one here, and I've used different textures as well. So this is a bit of Liberty Lawn that I had left over. So it's like quite a smooth, silky texture. And I've just wadded that one up and done a simple line of quilting. Okay, so it's that idea that, like Little Man with His Blanket, it's a strokeable one because it's that very, very soft, silky one. I've just got a very plain piece of brushed cotton as well because, again, it's a different texture, okay? How did the afternoon tea go? It was wonderful, thank you. Really, really lovely. We had such a good time with the girls. It was lush. It was nice to do something a little bit normal for a change, Although we've done some more bits recently, but yeah, definitely nice to do something. It was, and catch up with people. So those are just, I've done out of different fabrics, but you could use, you could use some velvet in there if you've got some, if you're dressmaking, you've got offcuts or satins or anything at all, just something that's got a bit of texture in it, okay? It could be that you just use all cottons. I was just trying to make them tactile, okay? This one, I've just cut a letter out of, literally I just hand drew a letter onto felt and pink and sheared it and then stitched it on, a little J for Jonah. And then I've just added on a little bit of pom-pom trim, okay? So that'll do like this, okay? So it'll be all, little bits for them to twiddle with and stuff. So I've put a bit of pom-pom trim on that one. This one we're going to add some extra bits of ribbon and things onto, okay? So you've got like, they'll end up with little taggy bits like this for them to play with. You've got a Paulie Ollie today too. Oh, hun, I know it's I think it's all going round, isn't it? It's he did have COVID when Rory and Cara had COVID. He was poorly for a couple of days with that, but then he had a cold straight after. And then he had last week. He seemed to be on the mend, and then Sunday he was poorly again. And yesterday, poor Cara didn't know what to do with herself. I've also got bits of little bits of cotton lace and all, anything that's got kind of different edges that you can play around with. So we're going to put a bit more rick-rack and lace on that one. This one I've made a little pocket. Okay, so I've cut them 6.5 inch square. That's a bit of old shirt, I think. And then I cut a 6 by 10.5 inch rectangle, folded it in half. And that will then become a little pocket, and I put this big chunky button on it again for some people to play with, and stuff. And then you can put little bits in there as well. They can hide little things. You could put some piping cord from here, like here to here, so you could teach them to tie laces and stuff. All sorts of things. I did wonder about using a piece of vinyl on one of these. So if you imagine you had a plain square like that, you put a piece of vinyl the same size over it, and then between them maybe put some sequins or something that they could move around under the vinyl, and then just tack the vinyl in place before you stitch it. Again, that would be a different surface. So basically, I mean, I'm just kind of giving you some ideas of the type of things you could add on. There are thousands and thousands and thousands of pages on Pinterest about quiet books, and it's definitely worth just going and having a little browse. If you put in quiet books, then you'll get all sorts of things come up. So I've already added on a little bit more little diddy pom-pom on there, a bit of rick-rack on that one, another little taggy. We're going to stitch this one on first. You want to decorate all your squares before you start assembling the block. Let's say hello to some other people. Hi Lynn, hi Carol. Who else has just joined us, did I see? Hi Linda, Fab. Fab, fab, fab. Hi Wendy, hi Jenny, lovely, lovely. I don't know if I've missed anybody, sorry if I've missed anybody. So with these ones, these little bits of ribbon, again this was out of my scrap bucket. I just pulled out little scraps of ribbon that I had, just fold them in half. You want your raw edges out the back like that and pin down just out the way like that, okay? And I'm just going to stitch down along there. I might put a bit of this cotton lace on this one actually. Should we put a bit of cotton lace on this one? This is quite a wide one, so I don't want all of it. So if I do that, oh, excuse me, my nose is, because we were dealing with a little man, I forgot to take my tablets last night and my nose is driving me insane today. The itchiness is beyond today. So there we go, just give that a quick iron, and I'm just going to use about half of that width. So I'm just going to line that up there. So we're going to just pop a pin in there like that, just hold that down. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch across here, just to tack those in within the seam allowance. And again, I'm just going to put a line of stitching down there so that this becomes like a frilly little edge. Okay, so hi Kay, Natalie, holiday everybody, sorry late, just got back from finding out where your new job will be. Oh, is that a good thing, hun? Hope it is. There we go. So I'm just going to put some tacking stitches. Did I come over here? I might have done. Tacking stitches along there, just hold these bits of ribbon in place. Oh, yeah man. There we go, like that. And then we'll do this last one over here. I'm not like overly spacing them or anything. I'm just, you know, chucking them on. Don't put anything too close to the corners though, just because you'll see in a minute when we start to build it. Okay. But what ideas could you come up with to put on here? You know, I'd like the idea of maybe putting some piping cords so you could teach them to tie kids to tie laces, or if they were being used like as a twiddle muff, it would be you know, more for them to like, you know, wrap and unwrap and stuff. Has anybody ever made a quiet book? Have you ever made any? Right, don't use the guide when you're trying to use lace because it gets caught in the lace. Should have put my other foot on. Here we go. Has anybody made a quiet book? You're intrigued by the name Quiet Blocks. It's basically a block, but it's not a patchwork block. It's as in like a baby's block, an ABC block, but with activities on them, like a quiet book. You could put a zip in. Oh, that's a good idea, Lynn. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, you could put a zip across, couldn't you? You know, like a false zip, you know, maybe, obviously, because we're going to stuff this, so that would be your base, but you could put one with a zip in that they could open and close, open and close. Buttoning buttonholes is a nice idea, yeah. I mean, I put a big button on there, but yes, if I'd put a buttonhole in there, they could have undone the button and everything. I just put it on as decoration because I thought it's a nice big chunky button. So I've just literally stitched those in nice and quickly, okay? Decorate your squares up however you want, okay? It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to chop a bit of this off so it's not too in the way. I wish I'd had time, because I didn't have time to be honest, because we're so busy getting ready for Chanda, to work out how to do the vinyl. I think that would be quite cool with like some sequins or tiny teeny buttons, piece of vinyl. I think just a square of vinyl over the top, sequins and buttons in there, like sandwiched between, and tack round so that they could push them round and stuff. Might be nice. You made some alphabet blocks. You made a cube for your daughter 31 years ago, but nothing as fancy as yours. Oh, poppers. That's a nice idea, Grace. Yeah, absolutely. You could do. I could have put some poppers on here, couldn't I? On these like little ribbon bits. Popper there and there, and pop in, out like that. It's good teaching manual skills, isn't it? So, on the back of each of your blocks now, you just want to do a little bit of marking up. Okay, so these were 6.5. They're 6.5 because I happened to pick up the 6.5 inch ruler. They could have been 4.5, they could have been 5, you know, so it's a cube with things to do on each side. Yes, lovely, absolutely. And what I want to do is I want to mark 1/2 inch in on each side. Okay, oh, I'm right, not in the right place, am I? Here we go, over here. So I'm going to mark in 1/2 inch there, okay, and 1/2 inch there. And I want to make a mark where they cross. Okay, so it's that point there that I'm interested in. Okay, just there. You could do these at 1/4 inch, but I was thinking about chunkier seams to really, you know, make sure that these were nice and safe. Okay, so there's my mark just there, because it's 1/2 inch in, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, like that. There we go. And you need to do this on all 6 blocks. So bear with me while I do this. Okay. There we go. And it's the same as, I'm sure you probably did them when you were at school. I know I did. We made paper cubes and paper, you know, pyramids and stuff. They'd give you a template, you know, and you had to like tessellate it all together. That's basically what I've done here. It's just made, we're going to do a little paper one and then join it all. But you don't want to sew into your seam allowances. That's why you need all these little marks. And then just 1/2 inch in each time. So, oh, I've lost it. Where's it gone? There it is, down there. Sorry you're late, Jane. Just got back from the opticians. New glasses. Perhaps your half square triangles will work right now. I'm sure they look lovely already, hun. But yeah, I've got to get new glasses. I had an appointment. It's a really long wait at our opticians at the moment. And I had an appointment, but it was for 2 days after I'd had my nose op, because obviously that was a cancellation, so it came through, you know, unexpectedly. Like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I know it's driving me insane. And I couldn't have, you know, bared the thing that they put on, you know, the little glasses frame thing on it, and I keep forgetting to remake it, so I need to remake it, because I think that I might need, because I'm very, very short-sighted. I mean, like, ridiculously short-sighted. You know, if I didn't have my contact lenses in, I wouldn't be able to see the iron, let alone anything else. But I was finding while we were away in Tenerife the other day, I was having to, the book that I was reading on the plane, I was having to do that to get it in focus. So I think I might be going a bit the other way now. Might be going a bit long-sighted. I might have to need reading glasses. There we go. Yeah, I'm definitely aware that I need an optician's appointment. It's really bad hay fever today. Yeah. What's that? Andy, good luck. You've just started a new job after 6 years retired, giving you a new lease of life. Ah, brilliant. Ah, nice. Yeah, sometimes we retire, don't we? You know, people retire. Maybe you retire a bit early sometimes. You know, maybe people... What are you doing though? What's happening in everyone's worlds with these new jobs? Right, we're nearly there. Sorry, this is very boring for you to watch. I'm just marking up, and that was the last one. Okay, it is, yeah, I think it's really bad hay fever day today, my darling. It's definitely feels it here. So just checking out the comments. Right, we're going to lay this out now, okay? So I'm going to lie that one up at the top. I don't know if you're going to be able to see these. I'm going to put that one on next, like that, and we're going to lay them out with 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then off the second one, you're going to have 1, 2, like that. So you've got like a little cross shape. All right. We're going to start by putting these. I'm going to work round this one first, okay? So my pocket is my one I'm going to work round. So I'm going to put this. In fact, actually, I'm going to swap that and have that one there instead. Put these 2 right sides together, like that. And I want to pop a pin through where those marks are. So I've got a mark just there. Oh, I've put that right in the wrong place. That's all going to end up... Right, let me just quickly take that off, actually. Because that's going to end up in the seam allowance. 2 seconds, let me just find my seam ripper. I know I've had it today, but it's vanished. I'm going to take that bit of pom-pom trim off, because it is going to be... it's actually not actually going to show, because it's going to be in the... what's the word? Seam allowance. I did it too close to the edge, so there you go. Be aware of that you might be too close to the edge. Come on. Sorry, I'm not very talkative today. My brain is not really working. Come on. He's very tired. Battling little man last night. Oh, he was, you know, when they can't breathe properly and it's rattling, and he was in pain as well, love him. And oh, it was horrible. Horrible, horrible to see him like that. Right, okay, so right sides together, like that. You want to find those little points. You could do a smaller seam allowance if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be. Make one of the squares a maze. Put pieces together, then stitch a maze. Put a marble in. Ooh, chase it round. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah. Right, I'm just going to put a pin through those 2 points there and there. See, you could come up with loads of ideas when you start thinking about this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stitch from that point down to that one at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. It doesn't have to be 1/2 inch. That's just what I chose to do because I thought, let's go with sturdy, you know, really sturdy, what's the word? Seam allowances. Oh my God, I can't talk today. I'm too tired. I'm too tired. Now I'm going to follow my 1/2 inch line on my, what's the word? Plate, which is that one there. Make sure you back stitch well. And then off we go. All the way down, and I want to stop at the pin, which is just there. And again, back stitch well. Mathematical lesson for today is a 2D cross or a similar shape to make a cube is called a net. Oh, I remember that word for maths actually. I do remember that, calling it a net now. There we go. So there's the first one on, and you should have these little bits left open because then they'll fit in. It's a bit like partial seams we were doing the other day. Put this one on top. So we're going to add that one on like that. And again, I'm going to go point to point there. So we're going to come across here like that. We'll start at that point there. Back stitch well. Keep these together. Down we go. And stop just there. And we're just basically putting it together. We're going to put this shape together. Okay, that one can go on next, which is up there. So let's pop that one up there. Oh, pressing the wrong buttons now as well. Yeah, I like the idea of doing like some sort of little maze thing. That's going to be really cool. You could make like some little felt shapes or animals or something, like, you know, like fuzzy felts and stuff, and put a felt square on, and then keep them in the pocket. You know. So 1, 2, 3. That's my 4 across, like that, and then I'm going to put the 2 either side, number 2. Okay, so actually I'm going to come back over here. So this has now become my number 2 here, and these ones are going to go either side, like that and that. Okay, so what I want to do is line these up. So you're going to pull this fabric out of the way so that you don't stitch it, that little seam allowancey bit. Pull that out of the way, line that one up there, and basically you're going to start stitching just there. So I'm going to put a pin in there where I want to start stitching. You can feel it where it hits the fabric there. And then again, we're going on this side. I'm going to pull that fabric out of the way because I don't want to stitch into the seam allowances anywhere. And I'm going to use your finger to find that bit there. Okay, so I'm now going to stitch across that one. So lots and lots of you have taken advantage of the old coffin. Oh. Is he going to wake up? He might do. I'm hoping Josh is going to get there. It's alright, it sounds like he fell asleep in the buggy, but he's just started coughing. There we go. Lots of you took advantage of the layer cake and jelly roll offer. I'm not sure we've got many left in the shop now. So you can see I've sort of stitched from there down to there and left all this bit here. Okay. While I'm here on this side, I'm going to actually work around that side while I've got it here. So you can see it's against this bit here, but I now want to bring this side to this one, like that. Alright, let me show you over here, it's so much easier. Okay, so that one's attached here, but I now need to put this one on. I'm going to put this one on. Stop messing about, Sir, and just do it. Right, move that back out the way, like that. Line it up, pretend that's not there. Like that. Like I said, I haven't taken the sail off yet. I will do when I come off air. So if you didn't take advantage of the the offer, you've got probably about 10 minutes before it comes off. There we go. So I'm going to go down to there, like that. All the way down. Oh, let me just make sure that that's all out the way. Oh, didn't stop sewing in time, but it'll be fine. Here we go. And then back over here. Right, once you've got your little cross shape, your net, as Caroline's just reminded me, like that, you then want to start bringing your sides up. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one to this one, like that, and make sure all these bits are like trapped inside, okay? So that one's going to go like that, and again I'm going to stitch from where I stopped all the way to that point there. So grab some more pins again, like that. Okay, so I'm going to stop on where that seam allowance is and start up there, and then I'm going to work my way around to make the boxy bit. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Got that. There we go. So I'm going to start at the pin. And away we go. Down to... Can you see I've kind of pulled this all out of the way so it's nice and flat, so you know that you're not trapping any of the, you know, the square bits in. And make sure that you stitch back. But yeah, I just thought these would be, you know, rather than twiddle muffs, these would be quite nice maybe for your like dementia patients as well. Not only kids, but you could use them for all sorts, couldn't you? So I'm just getting this one out of the way like that, making sure all this is tucked up. So I'm going to start stitching where that one is there. You could pop a pin in there if you need to. All the way along, move all this out of the way. Now that, oh, see, I nearly did the wrong thing. So that my pocket, probably best to tack that in actually. You just pin it now, but tack it up. Otherwise it would have been flapping on the wrong side, wouldn't it? Where did I get to? There we go, there to there. So down we go like that. And I want to stop just there. So just make sure I know where I'm stopping. And off we go again. It's a bit repetitive now, guys. You know, not very interesting for you to watch, because I'm just building the cube now. Just doing exactly the same around all the sides. There we go. So that's that one. Okay, so, and then we're going to put this one up on there like that, and I'm basically bringing them all round. Pin that in so that I don't lose it. Oh, come on. Can't make this work now. Why is it? There it is, got it. It was because it's a brushed cotton against the silky one. It didn't want to slip against it. So, like that. Make sure that one's up there. Where is it? There. Pop that down like that, and away we go. Nearly there. We'll finish just there. I hope he hasn't given me his coughing cold, frankly. I got a really busy few days. Tessa's off this weekend, so she's away Friday and Monday because she's away on a hen weekend. So so we're going to have all the hachanda packing. She's getting out the hachanda packing, can you believe? I mean, the cheek of it. But so yeah, I really hope that I'm not getting his cold, because I do not need it this week. I really don't. Here we go. Bring it down to just there where we stopped. And back stitch. So I'm just working my way round. Right, we're going to come back over here. And you can see now I've got the start of a box. Okay, like that, start of a cube. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop coughing in a minute, so I'm going to be quick. I would then pop that one along like that, okay, and that one along like that. So I've nearly enclosed the box inside out. But on this very last one, you're going to leave a gap. So I would stitch from the edge in to there and leave a gap, which is exactly what I did with this one. So let me just take that pin out. You see, I left a gap so I could turn the whole thing through, and then you would just hand stitch, slip stitch that, closed. I just literally, it's you know, our duvet, old duvets that we, you know, well not old duvets, new duvets that we buy, because toy stuffing is really expensive. So buy a duvet, slit it open, and use that to stuff them with. You could put a rattle in there maybe, you know, like the little what are they called? Kinder eggs, you know, the little yellow things that come in the middle of Kinder eggs. You could put some rice or something into one of those and make like a shaker and bury that in there so that it made a noise. There is a lovely company which Sarah might remember the name of, that we've been, that goes to go around the shows, and they do toys for quiet books. So they do like textured teething. Oh, you could put a teething, if it's for a child, you could put a teething ring, couldn't you, on through one of these loops or something. You could put a ring on there. But they do like rattly bits and stuff, or that crinkle paper. You could put like crinkle paper in there, couldn't you, so it makes a noise and things. But yeah, basically, well, if I just turn this one out very quickly, I wouldn't bother to clip any of these corners. It really won't matter because you're going to stuff it anyway. So when I turn this one out like that, obviously I haven't done the top, but you do that in exactly the same way. You've then got, you know, you've got a little pockety bit there, you've got a quilty bit which feels nice, you've got some brushed cotton, you've got a, you know, some pom-pom and all down there, little taggy bits, all sorts of bits and pieces. Play around with different ideas. There's loads on Pinterest, loads and loads on Pinterest. You've got little bells and the works. Oh, that's a really good idea. You buy pillows from IKEA stuff, and I think that was a tip from you. Yes, yeah, we do. That's, you know, either the cheap £1.50 pillows from IKEA, and just slit the the innards, and then pull that out. It's all fire retardant. It's all exactly the same as toy stuffing, in like a third of the price. But also, if you buy a big duvet, you know, the cheapy duvets that are £7-8 in Asda, again, you can slit that and pull all that out as well. You get loads for your money. Yeah, bells are a really nice idea. You could get, oh, I'm sorry, my nose is driving me insane. Really driving me insane today. But yeah, lots and lots of ideas. Have a play around. How would you decorate them? What could you come up with? Again, using all scraps of stuff. There's very little. They don't have to be this big. I could have done them 5 inches. You would do exactly the same method of making it. I just thought they were a bit different. Something quite nice. I will finish this one and then I'll pop a picture up of it. I might put a couple of poppers on that little pocket. In fact, before I stuff it, I will sew some some cam snaps. I'll put some cam snaps there so they can pop in, out like that, and it'll hold the pocket shut. And, you know, maybe put a little toy or something in there. But yeah, you could use them for all sorts. They could be giant pincushions. Oh, could use them for your sewing rooms. They could actually be like, if you put pockets on. There you go. See, I'm off on a different idea now. If you put pockets on all the sides, you could then keep your seam rippers and bits and pieces and thread and stuff in them, and then use the top as your pincushion. So you could do that as well, couldn't you? Yeah. This one you can see I put some prairie points on as well. You know, just any random little bits just to use up. So that's me for today. Lots to play around with. Come up with some amazing ideas. You know, could you use one of those? Oh, maybe like one of those safety mirrors. Could you do like a reverse applique thing and put a safety mirror behind? You know, all sorts of random things. It's a hat. I don't think it's a jaunty hat. What do we think? I'm going to go and make a cup of tea because I'm really tickly. I really hope I haven't got little man's cough and cold. And I will see you all tomorrow for a block. And then I'm off up to her Chanda, but Sarah will be here at 1 o'clock. Anyway, because she's going to do a live on Thursday. So I'll see you all tomorrow, guys. Take care. Bye.